You know, I got asked to do a movie with Jeffrey Rush when I was 19.
What?
Yeah.
You have the weirdest life.
Somewhere unseen. It got a little longer, so it seems.
Welcome back to chapter 128 of Audio Illustrations of a Milky Male. How are we all doing? The podcast is back. Sorry about no podcast last week. I was up on the Gold Coast getting rained on, which is fun. That's exactly why people go to the Gold Coast, to avoid that. Yet I went there and everyone was like, oh, it hasn't rained. You know, like when you go to a place and it doesn't usually rain and then it rains and everyone's like, oh, you brought the weather with you. That's what last week was like. Everyone's like, oh, you bloody brought it with you, mate. So that's how fun my week last week was. It was actually an awesome week. I was up there working on my comedy special, which will be out soon at September. We spent a few full days on that, and I performed every night when I was there. Went down to Brisbane and performed a couple of times as well. So, yeah, got some new stuff already working for next year's tour. And so, yeah, I didn't get time to do the podcast last week, but I did get time to record a couple of guest episodes with a few very good friends of mine. Obviously, today's episode, St. Lane, and Lewis was also joining me for a guest episode, which will be out in a couple of weeks once Lewis's tour is announced. But if you want to listen to those episodes early, get on the Patreon. It helps support what I do. You get early access to content, videos, and there's a Discord as well, which we all have fun in. We just talk smack. And yeah, so if you want to get amongst it, get a part of what I do, that'd mean the world. Also, there's new Tambourine Tour merch. Not new Tambourine Tour merch, sorry. The Tambourine Tour merch is up on my website, and it's going to be your last chance to buy it. So technically it's old Tambourine Tour merch. So yeah, it's your last chance to get it. If you missed out on all that stuff, go get it all at lukekidgell.com. Otherwise, guys, enjoy today's guest episode. St. Lane is a very good friend of mine. He also used to go by the name of Lane Harry. You may have heard some of his songs before. St. Lane only has 2 songs out, and he's already done Ultra in Korea. He just played one of the biggest music festivals in the world. He gets spun multiple times a day on Triple J in Australia, which is, if you're overseas, is our biggest music radio station. It's where people go to find new music and trust me, if you've been spun on Triple J, you're going to make it. So you're going to be hearing about Lane very soon if you haven't already. And he's a very good friend of mine. He's one of the nicest people I know. He's already toured with some of the biggest names in Australia, you name it. Baker Boy, 360, Hilltop Hoods, I think, as well. Don't quote me on that, but I know he's toured with a lot of people. We go and talk about some of his favourite tour memories. We have a great chat. And honestly, this is one of my favourite episodes I've done of the podcast. So, hope you guys enjoy. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, though, enjoy this chat with St. Lane.
While you were bored at the window, I was boarding up windows, avoiding all the ice fiend, cold-hearted sickos. Crazy how a motherfucker died for a zip code.
I was just saying, that is way too straight because it's like an elbow, and you need to have a little bit.
But I like it to resemble my
But who
cock,
walks around-
long and straight.
But mate, I'm
But
talking
mainly
about
the length I'm
Who
trying to
keeps their
present.
elbow straight like that?
It's not
You.
an arm.
It is. It's an arm of a fucking microphone.
Get the
Why are you
fucking drink.
comparing it to a human arm? Lane, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Luke. You know, I'm actually like a fan of your comedy. I went to your show. I went to your show. I think
He
you're...
comes on my podcast and just starts sucking me off.
Yeah.
15 seconds.
Yeah, 15 seconds in.
Well, you know
ball
what?
fucking
It goes. It's very much mutual.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I caught the show in Canberra.
You did. Thank you for coming.
It's all right. And I fucking loved it.
I'm
And-
still yet to see you live because you haven't done a show in Melbourne yet.
Not yet. No.
And the minute you do, you can guarantee I'll be there.
Fucking hope so.
Yeah, I will.
I'm holding you to it.
Now, I've already probably given you a little intro, but for those who may not, know who you are, what do you do?
So I write music.
Yes.
And I perform said music to audiences.
Yep.
And release.
And what would that be called? Most people call that a musician.
Most people would.
Now, and most people, when asked the question, what do you do,
Yeah.
would just say musician.
I used to say...
But guys, Lane isn't most people.
I'm not most people. Because the thing with musicians is I fucking secretly, I used to say I hate musicians, but
It's like me going, I hate comedians.
But it's different because there's a difference between like a musician and an artist. So I used to be in the Conservatorium of Music, and I'd be like composing something, and I'd say to a player, like a sax player or whatever, can you just play the notation that's on the paper? And they go, I can't because it's off grid or it's off key. And it's like the difference between the musician and the artist is the artist plays the shit that's not
right.
Prerequisite.
Yeah.
And then the musician will play a sheet. So you can chuck a sheet in front of everyone that works for like Hans Zimmer, and they'll play it amazingly, and they're phenomenal musicians.
Who's your favorite? I was going to ask you who's your favorite musician. Now I'm going to ask who is your favorite artist then?
Favorite artist? Kanye.
Cool.
Kanye, number one. John Mayer. George Clinton.
They are so completely different to each other.
They are different, but they're also quite similar. There's a level of humor to both their music, and it's also very constructed and thought out. I think John Mayer, the way he writes a song is almost the same as the way Kanye produces a song. There's maximalism and minimalism happening at the same time. So so John Mayer will have a song like Who Says, where the maximalism is...
The only one I know is Waiting on the World to Change.
Okay.
And I'm waiting on his fucking music to change, I'll be honest, John. If you could just step it up a little next album, that'd be fucking great.
So like with John Mayer, the maximalism is in the songwriting. So he writes...
I don't even know what that word means. What's maximalism?
Maximalism's like it's so... There's so much happening.
You're speaking to a guy who knows how to play hot cross buns on the recorder, okay? So really...
So... it's basically like you look at it on a surface value.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, cool, it's that on surface value. But then you break it down. You go, this means multiple things. And it's presented in multiple ways, though on first glance it could look one certain way. And Kanye does that with beats.
Right.
So Kanye will...
And clothes.
And clothes.
And everything he does.
Yeah.
And his whole life is like... Whatever you said, maximalism.
Yeah, totally. And like Kanye will say a lyric like that, if I fuck this model and she just bleached her asshole, that if you aren't listening to it, sounds really dumb. But the genius of it is in the production and how he says that over like gospel music that's been flipped again with like contemporary 808 shit.
And the reason why I listen to it is because I'm like, oh, asshole.
Yeah.
So he gets in people like me, gets people like you, and that's the appeal, you know?
And that's why he's the best. Everyone wins.
Oh, dude, I love Kanye, and I love some of his new stuff. I really like that album, the one that was like, that had the green text with the mountains.
Yay?
I love that album.
Yeah.
I don't know why. There's some songs in that I really enjoy.
Man, that album is so dope. That's my sister's favorite Kanye album.
Yeah.
Me and her like talk about...
I think we have like a oddly similar taste in music. Like we've talked about it before in the past. Like you really like My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite albums of all time.
Do you know what's funny with that album? I listened to that album on every plane I've caught in the last 3 years.
This is your plane album.
It's the...
And you catch a lot of planes.
I catch a lot of planes. I listen to that album more than anything.
I have it in the car, so I listen to it a lot. I have it on CD in my car. It's the only time I'll ever listen to a CD is that one.
This is Black Parade. Man, that album... For some reason, whenever I listen to that album on a plane, I'm always convinced the plane's going to crash. Like, it'll be like...
because you get into a really dark space.
Yeah.
You're listening to My Chemical Romance, so like all your teenage anxieties that you had when you first heard the album resurface.
Like...
and you're like, when I was a young boy, you're like, the plane's going down.
There's a track on that record called House of Wolves.
Oh, one of my favorite songs.
One of my favorite songs.
The drums.
Yeah. Because I've listened to it in like headphones.
Yeah.
When that comes on, I'm like, this is it. This is literally a wrap. The plane is definitely going down right now. It never does.
No.
No, like,
unless you're flying Tiger. I flew Tiger here to the Gold Coast, which is where we're at. And if House of Wolves had have come on, I think the plane would have heard it, given up. And
do you ever get sketched out when you catch a plane? It's like those 2-seater planes that like the rows of 2 seats instead of 3, and they'll give it like a...
Is that like a regional flight? I've never caught a regional flight.
Yeah. You never caught a regional flight?
Nah, why am I flying regionally? When have you ever flown to regionally?
Well, I've flown all around New Zealand regionally.
Okay.
But I've flown to. I did a regional tour.
Oh, you're from New Zealand.
from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when I flew in New Zealand, I flew from Christchurch to Auckland, so that
That's
was a
a
big
mate,
plane.
yeah. Yeah, I'm flying from like Auckland to Whangarei, which is like.
What is that? I only know 5 places in New Zealand.
What? Tell me.
Dunedin.
Yeah.
My grand's from there.
Yeah.
And I've been there before on Lewis's tour. Queenstown, which is the touristy bit.
It is.
Christchurch, because
Yeah.
of earthquakes. And Auckland, because it's and Wellington. It's actually no 6. Is that
That's-
6? And then, there's one time with H. Hamilton.
That's
Like
really
the
good.
musical. Boom.
That's a lot of South Island knowledge.
What's in the north? Just Wellington and Auckland. That's the only 2 I named, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's
What
alright.
else is in the north?
So the north, depending on who you talk to, is a lot better than the south.
Yeah.
South.
I imagine it's just like Jon Snow and the Starks up there defending it.
Well, that's the South Island. It's
No.
full Jon Snow vibes.
Ah, but I
So-
thought he's the king of the north.
Well,
That
yeah.
was the joke there.
Oh,
Look, it wasn't my best, and I'm not
Is-
even proud of it. I'm not going to say it was good, but
I've never seen that show.
oh, so you didn't get it.
I know
Yeah,
that. I know that.
okay, yeah.
I know that. I know Kit Harington is Jon Snow.
Yeah,
I literally know that from watching SNL, from him hosting it.
right.
Prior to that, I had never seen his
Don't
face.
watch Game of Thrones.
Never
What
seen it.
top popular TV shows do you watch?
I've seen every episode of Breaking Bad,
Yeah.
every episode of Entourage.
So you're like a serious TV show guy. You don't fuck around while watching TV.
Yeah, like
So I watch comedies. Like I've watched all The Office, all
yeah,
How I
yes.
Met Your Mother, and
I haven't seen that.
I've seen all the Friends before.
Did I haven't seen it. Blows people's minds.
What?
Take a guess of what I haven't seen.
I bet you it's the same as mine.
Have you?
Say it on 3, okay?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
The
The
Simpsons.
Simpsons. Oh, I
holy
knew it was
shit.
going to be that.
Dude, you've never seen it?
Never seen a whole episode, and I
Neither.
don't care.
People
You
reference it.
fucking look like a Simpson right now. If you're listening to it, Lane is dressed like he's in the cover of Kill Bill.
Literally, that was the
You're
vibe.
wearing like a yellow tracksuit, which is what?
It's full Kill Bill
It's
vibes.
cool, man. You look
It-
like a fucking banana.
I was in this newspaper the other day, and in the photo for it, I wore a Simpsons matching set.
Yeah,
Like
right.
it's like it just had Simpsons characters and references. Never seen the show.
Oh, so you're like one of those 13-year-olds who wear a Nirvana shirt. You're like,
Literally.
name 3 songs.
They can't,
And you're like,
yeah.
name 3 Simpsons episodes. You're like, oh, the one where it's just dope.
Yeah, dude.
That's as far as my knowledge goes. I know that Flanders is a loser, I think.
Yeah, it's
I
the
know
neighbor.
that Bart's like the scale. I know the family.
Yeah,
And I know from Mike that there's a character called Sideshow
Bob.
or
Yep.
something like that. And that's it. I don't know, Krusty.
Do you know? I know Sideshow Bob because people called me that in high school because I had like crazy hair. But
Do you still... I can't see you looking like... I don't even know what he looks like. Oh, is that the guy with the afro? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah,
Some people, I bet you people watching this or listening to this getting so angry right now. Just going like these 2 guys talking about The Simpsons who have never seen it.
We when I was in LA last month, we went to the Simpsons like world at Universal Studios.
It's like, I don't give a fuck. Take me to Shrek World, you dogs. Like,
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
every Shrek. I've seen the
oh
Shrek.
yeah,
that,
of
like-
course, yeah, because we're like the same human being. You're like, yeah, I would prefer a swamp over a fucking yellow cactus. That's the thing. I couldn't even make a joke about the Simpsons thing. 'Cause I don't know anything about it.
thing. I played my only knowledge of the Simpsons. I played Simpsons Hit and Run. I had that video game just because it was like GTA.
Yeah,
for kids.
okay. I do you remember that video game Crazy Taxi?
Yes.
Yeah, that was like my version of. I assume it was similar. Was that?
It's.
I
yeah.
never played Simpsons Hit and Run. I used to play Need for Speed Most Wanted
Yeah.
and Crazy Taxi. Those are like my 2 childhood games.
Fuck yeah.
I'm not into video games really, so and I played all the Call of Duties.
Yeah.
But
my game when I was a kid was Crash Bandicoot.
yeah, cool.
That was my fucking shit. I still play it. I got the new one the other day. Like I still have.
Oh yeah, I saw it came out because again, Radio Mike keeps me in that world. He keeps me in the loop. He's the guy
Yeah.
who does the button pushing. You know,
I've
you follow the socials.
I follow the socials.
Yeah.
I know who Radio Mike is through the name.
Yep.
Don't know what he looks like.
Right.
Yeah, just know I've just seen the tag.
Cool.
And I've seen you talk
That's
about him. I
interesting.
think you talked about him on stage with your cunnilingus joke.
Yeah, I did. Radio Mike got a mention in this year's show, which will be in the special. And I don't think I mentioned him in the special because, no, I think I cut it out. Maybe.
Really?
But because I said at the start of the joke, I usually say, because at my shows, I go like, oh, Lewis and I do a radio show, blah, blah, because people know. Because this special is going to be watched by like people who may not know me, I was like,
Oh, my assistant's here.
there we go. Zach's coming in. Zach is definitely the assistant. He's
Assistant Zach.
Don't scoff at it. You just bought him a coffee. That's what our assistants do. Does that mean we're not recording now?
When he's not getting me a coffee, he's pulling out cables.
Yeah. What are we talking about?
Radio Mike and your special and how he got cut out.
Yeah, well, because I mentioned... So I was going to make a point of like, don't say either of their names. Just so at the start of the joke, I say, my co-host said, so I avoided saying Lewis's name. And then on stage, I said, and then Radio Mike hit the dump button or whatever, and I said his name. And then we were editing it just yesterday, and I was going through it with Connor, and I was like, what about if Lewis gets shitty that I deliberately avoided saying his name, but then I did say Radio Mike? And then I also thought too much about it. I was like, what about if people think that I'm referring to the radio microphone and not a person? And people will just watch it going, what the fuck did he just say? So I just cut it out.
You cut the whole thing out.
Not the whole joke. I just cut out that line of me going Radio Mike because I was like, it's just so confusing if you don't know that's the guy.
That's a guy, yeah.
And also because I thought Lewis would get cut if I mentioned him and not Lewis. So I was like, I don't want there to be any beef, you know?
I feel like it would have been a lot easier if you just picked up your phone and called Lewis and you was like, hey.
Oh, he would not have given a shit.
He wouldn't have cared at all.
Of course he wouldn't have. But like deep down, he would have cared.
You reckon he would have been soul crushed?
But like, anyway. So that's, yeah, you do know who Radio Mike is. I want to talk about, you just came back from Korea.
I did.
Yeah. You did Ultra.
I played Ultra, which is the biggest festival in Asia.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the thing about Korea.
So if you guys don't know, Lane's a big deal. You've been spun on Triple J every day for the last since your new song came out. Sugary Sweet.
They're fucking pumping
Dude,
it.
I spin it in the car all the time.
Really?
On the way to Albury and Canberra.
Yeah.
Dude, we were pumping it like at least once every 3 hours. I listened to it twice in one car trip.
Fuck, that's actually like...
You gotta spin your boys, you know?
I appreciate it. And I enjoy that way more. I had a meeting with a publicist recently. Not recently, like months ago. And she was like, me and my boyfriend, we just will be hanging out at home and we'll just quote lyrics from Zip Code to each other. I'm like, what sort of fucking lie is that? Like,
dude, I quote your songs all the time. Like literally, because like my girlfriend was like, I like your shirt. And I was like, oh, thank you for noticing.
Yeah.
Which is a lyric in your song. It's called Compliment My Shirt, the song. And then you say, oh, thank you for noticing. And I do it in the thing. And then I also go, sometimes I add on the ding, ding. If I'm feeling good.
Love that. With Compliment My Shirt, when people compliment my shirt, like, because they do all the time.
Do you just say, oh, thank you for noticing?
I want to, but...
You don't want to be the guy who quotes his own shit.
Quotes his own shit, because... There's two minds. Is like, oh, is that like a joke? Yeah. Like, is that a hot reference to something? Like, is it referencing my song?
But people should know by now. You've been spun on Triple J, all right? Listen to the J's, listen to the interwebs. You'll know who Lane is.
I would like to think so.
Now, these people know who you are. Seriously, go spin Lane's stuff. You'll pause this podcast, go give it a listen, but make sure you come back, okay? I only give you permission to leave this podcast if you promise you'll come back after listening to Sugary Sweet, Compliment My Shirt. Also, throw on the demo Zip Code, also a banger.
That's, we're going to release that on streaming.
Oh, you are?
With a feature on the second verse.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can't say the feature?
Oh, I can...
Hint. It's not me. It's not me. And that's the only hint we can give.
That's, literally the
it
only
won't
hint.
be Luke. So probably a few people are a little bit disappointed right now. My mum, that would have been the
I think everyone would be
career.
I would love you to do a verse on Zip Code.
I want to talk to you after this about an idea that I want to do with you. Anyway.
Anything at all.
Yeah.
I love comedy.
Yeah.
I love what you do.
Well, if you don't know, we will talk about Korea, but Lane used to do comedy.
That's how I started. That's how I got in the game.
Yeah, which is very cool. And I've seen you. I saw actually I didn't. I missed it. You opened for Isaac at the comedy festival one night.
I played at Melbourne Comedy Festival. Yeah.
And you did well. I heard. I saw the video. I didn't see it.
Fucking killed.
Good.
It was. I just told a really dumb story, and for some reason, people laughed.
You're a likable guy.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I like to think that I'm funny, and I think that was.
But don't we all?
This is the thing.
Yeah.
So
Zach thinks he's funny.
Yeah, he's not funny. Zach, if anyone's not funny, it's Zach.
It's to a man of Zach.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
Isaac, you might know from Isaac Butterfield's
Every post that
Instagram
Isaac's
story.
ever posted,
He
yeah.
started the hashtag fuck Zach.
Mhm.
I started the hashtag love Zach because I was sick of all the Zach hate. But
Oh.
now I kind of regret it. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I'm more on the fuck Zach train now.
I think everyone's on the
since he
fuck
came
Zach.
in and put out the cable before, I'm kind of off him.
Yeah, and he spilt a little bit of coffee on the table.
And you don't want that from an assistant.
Yeah,
No.
I want the cleanest assistant in the game.
Yeah.
But,
And he got really offended the other day. Someone called him. So he like drives us around sometimes on a tour, but he also organizes everything. He's our tour manager.
don't say that. He just drives.
He does it all.
He's
But
a driver.
someone asked him. He said, "Are you Frenchie's driver?" And he got so cut.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
If you want to upset Zach,
Yeah. If you ever see him at a show of mine, just call him the driver, and he will hate you.
he's the chauffeur for the comics.
Oh, chauffeur sounds good. I would prefer butler.
Yeah, he's like the
he's more of a servant.
he's he's an overpaid Uber driver.
Yeah, very overpaid.
I love that. We could literally do a whole podcast talking about Zach.
Yeah, the Zach roast.
I should-
Except the problem is no one will watch it. 'Cause
Yeah.
no one.
Literally only us. Just the people we know would watch it religiously.
Yeah.
But Ultra Korea,
Yeah, let's do it. Ultra Korea. Sorry.
dude, so good. With food in Korea though,
Is it just cooking up your own Korean barbecue the entire time?
literally,
It's like you pay extra to do all the work. Fuck Korean barbecue.
dude, we went places and I was like, can't wait to get this, and then they bring it
They give you
raw.
raw fish.
Literally,
Like, have fun
All
with
the-
your little shitty barbecue that we give you.
all the tables have skillets, and
What's
they just
that?
like a oven, like a element,
Right.
and they just give you the raw shit. Flap it on.
Do you get a refund if you burn it? No. So it's up to you to cook it good. And you pay just the same price pretty much.
You pay more than you would at a supermarket to cook, to basically use their electricity.
What kind of a service are they offering? Is it
No.
it's supposed to be like an experience? Is that what they sell it as?
No, because every shop is like that, and the only people that are there are Korean people. So like, I think that's just how they live. And then you order a drink, they just give you a full bottle of like Pepsi, and like it's like from Coles. Put it down on the table, plastic cups.
That's disrespectful. Like I'm off Korea now. They're
Yeah.
like, no, Zach's fine now. And now I'm beefing with Korea. I've never ever been there. Was that the first time you've been there?
First time I've ever been to Asia.
It was obviously South Korea, yeah, because otherwise you wouldn't be here if you went to
Yeah,
North.
it was south, but you have the airport in South Korea is right on the border of North Korea.
Oh shit!
So when
Too
you-
close.
Maybe. And
Because if the plane just oversteps it by a little bit, gets lost in the fog. Oh, you can't come home now.
literally, so there's like a huge forest that borders North and South Korea, and I'd heard about it from that James Franco movie, and the interview,
Oh yes, yeah, I remember watching that. Yeah,
and we're flying the plane. No, I'm not flying. A pilot is
Lane
flying
was at the front listening to my cam, going like, "We're going down."
And I was, you like look out the window and it's just forests, and you're like, oh shit, that's North Korea. And you look on the other side of the plane, oh shit, that's South Korea.
You're, oh shit, it's society. People who are happy and having fun. Oh, they're well fed. Oh, they're not. You know what I
Literally,
mean?
that's what's going on.
Shit.
Crazy
You
shit.
see like a nuke on the other side, and then
Man,
God damn.
it's a small place. It's a small country.
yeah.
Any shit that goes down there, that is.
But they got a big population, don't they?
Mm.
So you did. So the way I heard the story from Josh, our manager, we have the same manager.
We have the
which
same
is
manager.
What we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, like this is why we're here. We're at the
This-
offices. Oh, that's a picture of you, by the way. Those who are watching the video. There is a
Painting.
painting done by Lane's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Behind us, and it's very good.
She did a great job.
It's so cool.
That-
Is that weird looking at a painting of yourself? No one's ever painted me. Guys, can someone please paint me who's watching this?
I have a lot of paintings of me.
Then the next time we do one of these, we can put a painting of me in the background.
That'd be sick. She would do it as well.
Man,
She just did one of Isaac.
Yeah, I should just like pay her and just put it in my room. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what Isaac's done. And
that's cool.
I went to the framer for Isaac's one the other day, and we got the most ridiculous, over the top frame. It's like needs to go in like a museum.
Right,
This
like
antique frame. It's just
ridiculous. It was expensive.
fuck yeah.
How much? Like, do you want to say how much? Nah.
It was like $1,000 to frame it, to put a border around this
Yeah.
thing, and that was industry rate.
Man.
So like for the layman,
I should start making fun of vegans. I'll have fucking frame money.
yeah,
You
I don't have frame money.
You get that
This is not
antique
framed.
frame money, man. I keep doing these little podcasts. That's not antique frame money. That's me. This is me begging to have a cool podcast background. Me using your girlfriend's art for free.
I reckon
money.
if I play like 3 more Ultra careers, I can
You're
afford to
an
frame that artwork.
Antique. And now we know that Ultra Career plays $333. So yeah, was it the coolest gig you've ever done so far?
Well, nothing's ever going to beat the time in 2014 where I got booked to do a nightclub appearance at Karma Nightclub in Mackay. And I got flown up to Mackay. And I've never been to Mackay before.
I've never been to Mackay either.
Yeah.
And I hope to keep it that way for a little bit.
No, you got to go.
Until I do a show there.
So-
I'm not going for any other reason. I'm sorry, Mackay. I might come there eventually, but not soon.
So I think the people that ran this nightclub thought I was like notably bigger than I was. Because at the time I had no songs out. Like I had...
Were you still running under the name Saint Lane?
No. So I was doing music under a name Lane Harry.
Yeah.
And had no popular songs out. I had an EP that like was like number 10 in Australia on iTunes at the time. And
Yeah.
iTunes kind of mattered then. I think they thought that equaled big deal.
Yeah.
So like, we want to book you for this club appearance. All you got to do is just come, play a couple of songs, have a good time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, easy. Get flown up. And the organizer guy's like, yo, man, such a huge fan. I was like, crazy. Like, I didn't even know I had fans. And he's
Did he think you were someone else?
maybe. And he,
I thought that's where the story was going.
No.
Like, you're like, I'm such a huge fan. And he's like, you thought you were like one of the Hilltop Hoods or something like
no. And he just, he introduced me to bar staff and he
Yeah.
said, what are you doing? I was like, Jack Daniels. He goes, this guy orders a Jack Daniels, don't charge him. So I'm like ordering all these Jack Daniels and he takes us to Hog's Breath Cafe. The first time I've ever been there.
Oh, so this is not a sarcastic story of the best gig you've ever done.
No,
This is literally the best gig you've ever
Literally
done.
the best
I
gig
thought
I've
you
ever
were 100% going to tell a story like of a dog shit time you had in Mackay.
No.
Oh, this is actually the... Okay, go.
This is literally the best gig of all time.
Right.
And
No other story starts that way. You never like, oh, the best gig I did was in Mackay.
Yeah.
If you don't know, Mackay is like regional Queensland. It's
yeah,
not regional. It's
like
on
a
the coast.
mining town
Yeah.
on the coast. And so he's given me cocktails. And it's also worth noting, at this time in my life, I think I had 45 cents in my bank account. So I was not eating food.
Yeah.
So like going somewhere, getting flown somewhere and eating food
was great.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Getting these cocktails and I'm so drunk. I'm like, man, I hope I can play this show. And I get on stage and then I woke up the next day and I passed out before I performed.
Shit. Really?
And they still paid me.
Why did they pay you?
I don't know.
Because it was the guy's fault that he got you drunk, or?
I was there. I think my contract was to be there at the club. And I was at the club.
You were there, but you didn't
I
perform.
was there and asleep.
Which hopefully you didn't do that. I saw you on stage at Korea. So
Korea,
well done.
I made the
you made the stage.
I made the stage.
Well
I made
done.
the set.
Well,
Performed.
isn't that good? Now I don't want to be mean, but God, it's good setting the bar that low at the start. Because now, if you ever even touch the microphone, you're like, "This is a great gig. It's fucking better than Mackay."
Dude, I played a gig in Melbourne at the Empress Hotel.
I don't know where that is.
It's like Fitzroy area.
Right?
And I played to a sound guy and a door chick. And the door chick was like, no one's coming, is there? And I was like, no. And she was like, I'll stick around. And she watched, and I was headlining. And I played an hour and a half
To two people.
to 2 people.
Did you have to do it?
I didn't have to do it, but
You
I was
just did it.
already booked the venue.
Oh shit! Well, you're going very well now.
So yeah, so like the bar is so low.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, if I reach the mic and if there's more than there's more than 2 people there, what
It'll
a
be
gig!
dope gig. Yeah.
Literally, I'm like,
You opened for Baker Boy recently.
really?
I saw him at
recent.
the airport when I was coming home from I don't know, one of my shows. I saw him at Melbourne Airport waiting there, and I was gonna go up to him and be like, "Hey, you know my friend Lane?"
Yeah, you should have.
But I didn't know him, and I didn't want to come up and piss him off. I don't
yeah.
know.
if you
Well, I don't really know any of his songs, so I couldn't be like I'm a fan because I'm
You
I
don't
know who he is. I
Yeah,
know what he
you-
looks like, and I've heard a couple of his songs, but I wouldn't know.
You couldn't name it.
Couldn't name the song, so I didn't want to be that guy who's like, I know who you are, but I'm not. Because you get people that come up to you like, I've seen your viral video, but I don't even know you're a comedian. I get
Totally,
that. So
yeah.
I'm like, fuck these people.
Well, if you ever see anyone that you know knows me, this is the
They'll just-
this is the official character reference.
Yeah, okay.
You can say that we are friends, and they have to be friends with you from now.
Wow.
That's
You are that kind of guy. You're like everyone who meets you will give you a glowing review.
I would like to.
And even after this podcast, people were like, "Oh yeah, I listen to a podcast with Lane. He's my mate now, and he's a good bloke." You know?
that's like I would really, at the end of the day, love to have. I think I kind of already have that relationship with my audience.
Yeah.
Is like it's just like bros.
You're one of your lines in the chorus of is "I'm a nice guy,"
Literally,
and
try to be a nice person.
you are now, Lane. We do a segment every week on this podcast now where we are deciding. It's called the Ultimate Pump Up Song Championships. The Ultimate Pump Up Song Countdown / Tournament. I don't want to get copyrighted. My ultimate pump up song is obviously Fat Bottom Girls. What's your ultimate pump up song? Also, I've saved a special one for you this week. I've been saving it for this episode.
Okay. Am I walking out to a boxing fight?
Yeah,
Or am I
that's a
sitting
good way.
down and something's going to pump me up?
That's what I think is important to a proper pump up song. It's your gym song. It's your walking out song. It's your everything song. That's for me. Fat Bottom Girls.
Yeah.
That's the song. You know, for all those situations.
Dude,
It's got to be universally pump up. You know.
do you know what pumps me up?
Yeah.
Songs that have no drums. Like if I hear no drums, because I like make music,
Yeah.
my brain creates drums. So I'm trying to think of songs.
You do make believe drums.
I do imaginary drums.
Like, you know how kids are like imaginary friends and
Yeah.
dragons just in your head, like, fuck, man, this beat on this song is sick. And everyone's like, what? There's
Yeah.
no beat. You're like, you guys not hearing it?
Yeah, that's literally me.
Get in my head. It's dope. It's going off in here.
And like instrumental songs, I'll be like adding vocals in my head and shit.
You are an artist.
Yeah, probably.
I'm never like listening to like half a joke and like, oh man, I'm just and that'd be like if I was watching comedy and then there wasn't a punchline, but I just start laughing and everyone's like, what are you laughing at? Oh, I just made up a punchline in my head. It was just so funny.
That's literally the same thing. That's another reason why I can't read books, is because
The last book I read was Specky McGee.
what is that?
Oh, you guys are you're from
They're from New
New
Zealand.
Zealand. Yeah, it's a book about an AFL kid who he finds that he's adopted, but
What?
and I think his dad's Tony Lockett in the end. I don't know. I don't remember. He's just a kid who plays footy. Anyway, continue. Hey Luke, shut up.
Specky McGee.
Specky McGee. Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up. After
Yeah,
this.
dude, read it. You'll have a great time.
We-
Yeah, he has a love interest called Tiger Girl. Anyway.
Tiger Girl.
Yeah.
Is it a series?
She's a mascot for the Richmond Football Club.
And people in Richmond.
Gary
just-
Lyon wrote it with an author.
Who is that?
Do you not know who Gary Lyon is?
No.
He's like on the footy show.
No.
The AFL footy show. who
I've
used to
never
be
seen
on
a
it.
game of AFL. Never seen one.
What?
Yeah, we don't get it in New Zealand.
And then you came to live in Queensland, so yeah, you don't.
And they
for,
don't.
for those who are international, I think people who are listening from overseas think that Aussie rules football is big everywhere in Australia. It's not. It's only
not.
really big in
Melbourne.
Victoria
Yeah.
and Adelaide and Perth. Up on the coast, Sydney and Queensland, like New South Wales and Queensland, they don't give a fuck
Yeah.
about. I did a gig on Sunday and State of Origin was on, which is rugby. That's what everyone up here cares about.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did a gig and there was only like 20 people there. And I was like to the guy, last time there was 90 people there. I was like, what's up? Why is there no people? And he's like, oh, State of Origin's on. I was like, oh, fuck you guys for caring about rugby.
Yeah.
Do you watch it?
State of Origin?
Yeah.
My very good friend plays for Queensland.
Are you going to name drop him? Go. I won't be impressed,
won't
but
know.
you can.
You won't know.
Yeah, but other people might. So name drop him.
My very good friend Jai Arrow.
Whoa. Is that impressive? Is he good? Well, obviously he's good
Okay.
because he's playing for the state
Let
team.
me tell you about Jai. Queensland played on Sunday, and they fucking sucked. And every commentator said Queensland need Jai. Every one of them was like, you know, even the
So it
ones
was
that
a good name drop.
he is undoubtedly the best forward in the NRL right now, and he is one of my closest friends. He's a great guy.
How do you know him?
We played rugby league together.
So
since
you played
we were-
rugby. Actually, I've seen a picture of you wearing rugby clothes from your past before. Did you
Yes.
put up on Instagram recently?
I wore a rugby jersey when I climbed the Hollywood sign.
Yeah, cool. Maybe that's what I saw.
That's probably what you saw.
Yeah.
That was a recent photo.
Yeah. What were we talking about before this?
Pump up
Oh,
songs.
pump-up songs. Yeah,
I still haven't answered your fucking question.
Yeah, sorry.
Been name dropping my friends that play sport. Pump up song. A song that fucking, Don't Stop Me Now by Queen is
Queen have got so many bangers.
Queen-
like
because it's
We
so-
Will Rock You. They're an anthem band.
It's theatrical music.
We're the Champions. Even Flash Gordon, man.
Dude, Flash fucking Gordon.
Flash.
I want to give you like a really solid answer. You know what song pumps me up more than anything?
Yeah.
More than anything. Every time I hear this song, I go, yo, fuck. This song is so good. And it's, oh, dude. I can't even say it. I can't even say the name of the song.
Because I'm going to get too psyched.
Because you don't even know the song.
I'm going to look it up.
I know for a fact.
Right. I got
And
Spotify
also,
ready.
Your podcast is called Memoirs of a White Guy.
Yeah.
So you can't play the song on the podcast.
Okay. Is
But-
there too many ends?
There's
Yeah,
there's a lot of language.
Yeah, okay.
But the song is called Hard in Dark Paint by Waka Flocka Flame.
yeah, I don't think I can play that.
Yeah. And that song,
We already get some reviews on iTunes of people who have misinterpreted the name of the podcast.
Really?
We don't need any more. There's one song that is a guilty pleasure of mine. It's the N-word in Paris.
dude.
Now, when you're in the car, I'm not saying I say it, but goddamn, when the doo-doo comes in,
Yeah.
ain't no white person not bopping along to that, man.
Dude.
Everyone's jamming to it.
When I went to the Yeezus tour, Kanye played that song 9 times in a row.
What?
Yeah. And
It would have peaked at the 7th.
this is what everyone thought. The lowest energy it was play 1, 2, and 3. And then he was like,
So you've seen Kanye before?
I've seen Kanye twice.
Oh.
Dark Twisted Fantasy tour, Yeezus tour.
Oh.
Yeah. And I had
Lucky man.
tickets to see 808's tour, but then I moved to Australia.
I don't know what that is.
That was the tour
Oh, right.
before.
Yeah, okay.
And so Kanye, he's playing Paris, and I think it was time 7, and I was like, this is literally getting better every time. Like,
That's the most Kanye shit ever. It's like, you've paid $150. Now sit here and listen to me play a great song 9 times. Imagine if I charged people for my show and I did my cunnilingus bit. I have
Yeah.
a bit about saying cunnilingus on the radio, right? And I did that and I get through it once and I'm like, all right, guys, round 2. By the 9th time, it's not going to be peaking at the 9th. People are going to be like, shut the fuck up.
I think...
But if Kanye West was a comedian,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, yeah, do the cunnilingus bit again.
And it was, dude. It was literally that. It was, by the time the 9th time came, and then when he finished the 9th time, everyone was like, where's the 10th?
Yeah.
And he
but he's
didn't
like,
do it.
sorry, got to play stronger.
Yeah. And he's like, sorry, I've got like 50 other hits. I'm just going to drop.
Yeah, dude, I wrote Graduation. We can't spend all night
Dude.
listening to this.
Do you know what he followed up the 9th version of Paris with?
What?
Blood on the Leaves. I don't know if you're familiar
know
with
that
that.
song.
Oh, dude, fuck.
I only really know the hits. I'm like a casual Kanye fan. I like I do listen to the album tracks.
Bro, Blood on the Leaves was a hit.
Yeah, was it? I mean, I know Stronger. I know like all the hits plus some of his newer stuff I listen to more.
Like if Kanye put out a greatest hits record, which he doesn't need to because every album is a greatest hits, but if he was to put
That's how people describe my comedy.
yeah, it's the greatest
Like,
hits tour every
Yeah,
tour.
every year they're like, I'm like, I could just do a best of show. I'm like, but it's the same.
It's the
I
same
could just
show.
do my new show, which is always the best of.
Literally,
Yeah.
and it's going to be continue to do that forever
Exactly.
until you're at a
I'm the
point.
Kanye of comedy, guys. But you know, Lane said it.
I
not
said
me.
it. I didn't.
Well, it actually was me. If we listen back to the recording, someone might be like, "Look, I'm pretty sure you just said that," but whatever.
But you know what the most Kanye
I'm gonna
thing?
dub in you saying it. Say it now so I can use it.
Luke, do you know that you're the Kanye of comedy?
No way. That's
No way,
crazy.
yeah.
I didn't say that.
But you know what I was about to say cancels out what I just said because
Yeah.
I was like, the most Kanye thing you can do is call yourself the Kanye
Yeah,
of comedy.
true. It is. Yeah. Back yourself when you shouldn't.
Yeah.
is pretty much
Just
his
always.
whole mantra. Now I do want to So every week, if you don't know, an Ultimate Pump Up song plays off against another. This week, I wanted to save it because I knew I was going to be doing a guest episode with you soon.
Yep.
It made the top 16. Stronger by Kanye West versus All I Do Is Win by DJ Khaled.
All I do is win every time.
What?
Yeah.
You just talked up Kanye for 10 minutes, and I was expecting you to be like, yeah, Stronger for the win.
No. All I do is win. All I do is win is there's a few things happening there. The BPM is way faster.
Look at you music nerding it. See, I just think it's funny because DJ Khaled screams at the start.
The most pump.
So if you don't know it, it's this one.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah, like that's a pump.
Ludacris fucking ruins this song, man. Luda's verse is so bad, dude.
Do you know how bad Ludacris is?
Oh no, is that him? Yeah. He goes, Ludacris coming in with it.
Yeah.
He's always this. Dude, if you start your verse with Ludacris got in on the verse, hey, already wasted a line of your verse.
Yeah.
That's it. Imagine if you were like, hey, Lane's coming in on this podcast right now. You'd be like, we know, you're in the title.
like it's just you talking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's featuring Ludacris. Just rap, dude.
Ludacris, you know, this is how bad Ludacris is. Ludacris is the worst part of the song Baby.
And he's also the worst part of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Is he in that?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen Fast and Furious? He's one of the main characters.
Really?
He's like in Vin Diesel's crew.
Oh, I know Tyrese is in it.
Yeah, and he's the other
Other guy.
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah, I'd never seen it. I've never seen
like
any
Vin
of this.
Diesel, The Rock, and Ludacris. It's like everyone who collectively failed at acting and then they all made a movie together and it was a hit.
It's like...
You're right, though. He is the worst part of the Justin Bieber song.
Fuck yeah, he is. He's the worst part in every song. He's the worst part in... do you know
of
what?
Everything he touches.
He has one good song.
What is it?
It's called Get Back, and
Right.
it is the credit song in the movie Tropic Thunder.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And there's a scene where Tom Cruise lip syncs the track.
When he's like fat in the fat suit. Yeah, I can't remember that.
You remember
And you know who made that good? And I never thought I'd say this. Tom Cruise made that better.
How's him, Justin? Did you hear about him and Justin Bieber thing?
Justin Bieber called out Tom Cruise. Yeah, I talked about it on the podcast a few weeks
You
ago.
already
Who do you
talked
reckon
about
would win?
Fucking Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I was saying that, but then I also found out that Justin Bieber does a lot of training since I recorded that podcast with Mayweather, and I realized he has been doing that for a while. He trains a lot with the Mayweather crew.
Right.
Doesn't mean he's necessarily good at fighting.
Yeah.
But they're both short. They're both like 5'9".
I still like Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is 50.
Tom Cruise.
I think everyone just thinks Bieber's a pussy, but like he mightn't be. I reckon Bieber would fuck me up in the ring. So it's like I can't knock him. He seems jacked whenever I see him, and if he has been boxing training, he would kick the shit out of most people still.
I have a thing though. If anyone calls out someone for a fight,
You're a bitch.
yeah, that's like the move.
It's a beta move.
It's such a beta move. Like the Tom Cruise, because I think they said something like Dana White said Tom Cruise was like considering it or something, and
why isn't he the money? What's he got to prove? I can beat up a pop star. That's not.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you probably can. There's nothing to prove.
But the thing is, like Tom Cruise saying yes to that.
Steve-O called out Justin Bieber. Did you see?
No.
And then he did a podcast with Dana White and Steve-O from Jackass.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Do you reckon I?" But I'm like, dude, Steve-O just wants to get some publicity.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, Steve-O fighting Bieber is actually a better fight. I would rather watch that fight than Tom Cruise.
Steve-O would win that. Because
Well, this is what Steve-O said. His justification was, he goes, Justin Bieber can throw a punch and I can take a punch.
did you see Steve-O run into Mike Tyson's fist?
Yeah,
at
in the roast. Yeah.
Steve-O could definitely handle a punch from Justin
Oh, dude,
Bieber.
he's handled a lot worse. I've watched him jump in the water with sharks. I'm sure Justin Bieber wouldn't be a problem after he's done that shit.
That's it. Like, Steve-O's not afraid to die.
Yeah.
He will-
That dude is a maniac. I really like what Steve-O's doing at the moment. I think it's cool that he's like doing half comedy, half stunts, and
he had a
Fuck,
set at Laugh Factory when I was in LA.
oh,
with
did
Lewis.
you like him?
We didn't see him
Didn't see it,
because
right.
we were like, this man's not a comedian.
Yeah, right. Okay. You just came back from LA.
Mhm.
You were there with Lewis and stuff over there.
I was there with Lewis. I lived with Lewis.
How was it?
So much fun. Look,
You go there a fair bit, don't you?
Yeah, I've been there a few times. Do you see that photo that Lewis put up with like the weed pen? And he's like, son, we found your weed pen. Explain this.
No, I didn't. See
I was
that.
out, and that was my weed pen. And he's like, put this photo on Instagram, and I was like, that motherfucker's gone through my shit.
Yeah, what the fuck?
He's like, I
Not cool, Lewis. If
Yeah,
you're watching,
Lewis
he won't because
Spears.
he's a bad friend.
dude, I reckon that's a good friend move is to watch your friends' podcast.
Yeah, I listen to some of my friends. Shit, like no, you can't listen to all of it because then it's
Who
like
are your friends do podcasts?
Tom Frenchie.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
so I listen to a few
Yeah,
of their
there's
episodes. Like if I'm in the car, I listen to a couple of episodes. Sometimes the thing with Lewis is like because we do a show together. Often he repeats stories, so I don't want to hear them before he does it with me. Like we don't do the show anymore, but like. That's why I didn't listen to it for a bit. But when I used to work at the golf club, I used to listen to Lewis' podcast even when I was friends with him.
No, it's dope.
But I don't know. I don't know why. Sometimes I think listening to your friend's stuff is good because you're like, oh, I was there for that story. It's more interesting. Do you listen to your friend's stuff?
My friends' music?
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah? Well, I listen to your music a lot.
Thanks, man.
And I put in the end of my videos and stuff.
I saw that.
But I never wanted to get copyrighted though, so I can't use your
New
shit
stuff,
that's
yeah.
New stuff, but I always use zip code. Because
That's
that's a demo.
and a huge part of that, me putting that on there, was so you guys could have
Yeah.
it.
Well, it's a good song. Like, if you haven't heard it, you got to go check it out. And also, it was the intro song to this podcast, so you already have heard it.
And Meg put it in her dog video.
Yeah, she did.
It was very nice of her.
Yeah. Dude, that it was so good because for that she did like a little montage of like her being alpha with her pup, and I was like, she was like, "What's a good song?" And I was like, you know, and she goes, "Oh, we're using Lane," and I was like, "Yeah."
So, I remember when the first time I met Meg was when you like accidentally punched her in the face and she had like a blood nose for fucking ages. Remember that?
Okay, that's not what happened. Okay, we were filming a video for Frenchie called Dad Bod Strippers, and she is prone to blood noses. Like when you know some people when you could like flick their nose and they just would bleed for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So she is like that sometimes. And then I had to take my shirt off, and you were pretending to be her boyfriend in the video, and I was pretending to be the stripper, and I was shimmying up against her, like rubbing my chest in my girlfriend's face for a video, because that's
You're
my
like
life.
motorboating. Your
Yeah,
girlfriend was
I'm
motorboating you.
motorboating my girlfriend,
Yeah.
right? The roles are reversed. And then my chest hit her nose and she bled for 15 minutes. And everyone was like, what happened? And she's like, Luke did it. And if you see a girl standing there holding her blood nose with no context and she goes, Luke did it, everyone was like, what the fuck, Luke? I was like, hang on. Hey, I was motorboating her. I wasn't just throwing fisticuffs in the middle of a shoot. Like, what are you talking about?
And there was so many girls there that were like actresses or whatever that didn't know you.
Yeah, so they just think like, oh, this guy like
hit his
makes
girlfriend.
bleed.
Yeah, because all the boys there, we all your
Everyone
mates.
saw it. The people who saw it were like, yeah, Luke didn't do anything. And everyone who came in later,
Yeah, was like-
Meg was like, and I was like to her after, I was like, can you not say Luke did it next time? Just say like, oh, just tell them what happened. Yeah,
That was so funny.
I'm gonna end up in prison. But yeah, so you're on Triple J.
Yes,
Everything's cruising.
very lucky.
And
In
what's
GQ
next?
at the minute? I guess
Is there like an EP or an album in the works? You can't say.
So I made an album like
Yeah.
a year ago, and I took that album to different labels
Yeah.
and pitched it as like I'm an artist.
It was Compliment My Shirt on the album?
yeah, all the songs, Compliment Shirt, Sugary Sweet, Zip Code.
So you've already got...
There's a whole
songs, yeah.
whole album, and I had a song on the radio at the time with Lane Harry and Ike Campbell. We had the song called The Dash that was like all over the radio. And while that was happening, I was working on this solo record, so I was like going to the labels like, this I guess it was like showing like this formula can work. Here's the new music with a new artist that you can, deliver.
Yeah.
Pitched it to a bunch of different labels, and it was one of the coolest things I ever got to do was like say no to like big major labels,
Right.
because I was
That's the frustrating thing and just from knowing you and because we're on the same management stuff and talking to everyone about the difference between like, because our management manage comedians and you're probably the only, a few DJs as well. So a few music acts as well.
Yeah.
So much, it's so frustrating for you. And we've had conversations before about it where you're like, you've made all this work and then you just can't put it out. Like I can put this podcast out tonight
Yeah, you really
and,
could.
and I probably will if I get time. But you like have to wait 6 months to a year, and there's a thing of, like, if I had to wait 6 months to a year to put this podcast out, I wouldn't be excited about it coming out because it's like in the moment you're like, this is great and it's new.
Yeah.
Then by the time it goes through all the different people, it has to go through record labels, distributors, the publicity.
Yeah.
By the time the single drops, you're like, I recorded this a year ago. Like,
Well,
it's frustrating. It must be frustrating as an artist.
It is. Like, Compliment My Shirt, I made that in 2017.
Oh, see, that's frustrating. It came out 2019.
Yeah. So there's a huge gap between... And I recorded it in the end of 2017. So it's old as, like, I've heard it so many times. Everyone in my circle of friends, like, fucking, you'd heard it. Like,
I'd heard it before.
Frenchie heard it. Yeah. Like, everyone already knew the song.
Yeah.
And so by the time it comes out, you're like, oh, cool. Like, it's out.
Finally
out. But it's not like it's, like, exciting and new.
It's exciting for fans and stuff.
It's exciting for people that are complete strangers.
Yeah.
But the 2020, by 2020, all the music I'd previously recorded
should be out. Awesome. And you went over and recorded with Kanye's producer.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
Andrew Dawson,
that must have been
a
huge thrill.
Yeah, dude, we made so many cool songs.
He was the guy who produced Graduation, wasn't he?
Andrew Dawson, yeah.
Yeah.
He did College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation,
shit.
Dark Twisted Fantasy, Yeezus.
Dude.
And it was just cool sitting
Were
with
you
him.
there once and, like, Kanye called him?
Yeah.
You were sitting in the studio and you were listening to a phone conversation with Kanye.
Yeah, Kanye was, like, in Portland. And I was really, really hoping to, like,
Bump into him,
because, like, we were in the same place.
Studio, yeah.
But it never happened.
Who is the most famous person you've ever met, just out of curiosity?
What a great question. Luke Kidgell.
He nailed it, and I was going to say Kesha, not you.
Most famous person I met? I smoked a blunt with Hannibal Buress.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've never met him. My mate went and saw him at when we were in Brooklyn. I didn't go that night. I went to sleep. I was tired, and I was going to the midnight show to see other comedians, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going." It was my mate Joseph Green, and he was going to. He's like, "I'm going to a show in Brooklyn. Hannibal Buress is there," and he met him and stuff that night. And I was like, "Yeah,
that's like."
I'm a fan of him, but not a huge fan. So I was like,
I've been a fan of his for like years, years.
Right.
Like, I've seen everything.
See, I'd nerd out if I met like Crystalia or something like all that.
Yeah.
And I saw them perform, but I didn't get to chat to him or anything.
Dude, I was gonna talk to Crystalia. We were at the Laugh Factory.
Was this recently? Yeah.
And like, I went to the bathroom, and then I came out, and Crystalia was like outside of the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I looked at him, and I was like, there's nothing I can say to this fucking guy. Like,
I did the same thing. I was pissing at the Comedy Store when I was there in November, and David Spade just came up and started pissing next to me. Like, he's the guy, if you don't know, in like every fucking Adam Sandler movie, and the guy in Rules of Engagement. Anyway, so I was like next to me, and I have never watched any of his films. Like, I would have nothing to say to him, and I was next to him. I looked across, and I was like, "Oh, it's David Spade. Oh, there's his dick." And well, you know what I mean? Because it was pissing next to me. I just wasn't looking at him. I knew he walked in behind me because I
looked at David
across.
Spade's dick?
And I don't remember seeing his dick, but I should have. That would have been a good story.
Yeah.
It's like, who's the most famous person? Probably David Spade's dick. But no, like, I looked next to me and I was thinking, I was like, what have I got to chat to him about? I haven't seen Grown Ups. I don't want to see it.
Don't watch it.
And I have nothing to chat to him about. So I was like, cool. Just because he's in movies doesn't mean I'm going to speak to him.
Totally. Yeah. I think Hannibal Buress probably... I know if I was to meet... This is the other thing. Like, I've seen famous people.
Yeah.
Like Crystalia. But I'm like, I don't want to just be
we brief interviewed Rita Ora at the radio station.
Right.
And I didn't even know who she was at the time. And I found out afterwards she's huge. Like, she's this huge pop star. And at the time, I was like, who is she? Because she had, like, a bunch of people from Sony with her walking through the radio station. And someone goes, she's the one who kind of looks a bit like Beyonce. And I was like, what? And I looked around, and there was one girl that I could tell was maybe the celebrity of the group. And I was like, it's her. So I walked up to her, and me and Lewis went up. We did our brief music
That's so
thing.
funny.
But, yeah, like, who cares? Like, I think the most famous person I've actually had a conversation with is probably just Amy Shark.
Okay, I've
when
met
she came
her.
on our radio show.
She's cool.
Yeah.
I've met
know.
Lord.
Lord. Oh, yeah, she's huge. Yeah.
She's big. But
yeah, I don't.
dude, like
I have a story in my show. If you watch the special, it's called the Kesha story. Like I ran into Kesha.
It's your
backstage.
closer, if I'm not
It's my
mistaken.
closer. Yeah, it's the way I closed my special. Is the Kesha story, and
It's a
I won't
great
give it
story.
away. But I bumped into Kesha.
Yes.
You can literally say backstage. So yeah, but I feel like it's when you're in the industry, like you're in the music industry, I'm in the comedy industry. It's like it comes a thing where it's like, it's not cool.
Well, this is the thing. I feel like because we're in different industries under entertainment.
It's same but different though.
Yeah, I think it would be cooler when I see a comedian.
Yeah, and I think it's cool
Yeah,
when
when
I
you
see
see
like,
a mu-
oh, they're like a big musician, and
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, I get what they do.
Like if I saw like Louis C.K.
I watched him 4 nights in a row at the Cellar last year when he was performing there.
Louis
Like,
C.K.?
Yeah, I was in the front row 4
Oh.
nights in a row.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've never seen him live.
Yeah, he was good.
One of my favorite comedians.
Yeah,
of all
he was
time.
also one of my favorite comedians. But I was just like, it was in the period where he was just making his comeback after the scandal, and you're
I
like,
didn't even know he came.
and
here.
you're like, do we fucking clap? Oh yeah.
No way.
And he acknowledged it on stage, like what he did and stuff.
Dude, man, like, but yeah, if I was like in an elevator with Louis C.K., do you know? Have you ever been starstruck? Because I've been once.
Yeah, the first time I met Hamish and Andy.
Oh really?
But this was before this was a few years ago, like when I just started comedy, and I'd idolized them for years,
Right.
and then got to the point where we ended up becoming quite, not close, but like they're always really
They're
good
mates.
to Lewis and I around the radio station and stuff, because we started working in the same
do the same
building,
thing.
and then it was a thing where I saw them every day, so it was not a thing anymore. But the first time I went as a fan to watch their crowd surfing show, they wanted the crowd to crowd surf them around for 2 hours.
I remember that.
So the first time I met Andy Lee, I touched his bum. So yeah, that was a good experience. And then I've told them that since. I was like, yeah, I was there that day, and they're like, oh, you were too. And then that was 3 days after the You Don't Know Me video had gone viral. And I
Right,
knew
yeah.
Cackling Jack from Community Radio, the third guy on their show. And he was like, hey, Luke, or whatever. And he was like, oh, dude, we're watching your video on the Uber ride here, your You Don't Know Me video. He's like, Hamish loved it. You should go say hi and tell him it's you. And I was like, no. I was like, no, I don't want to be that guy. That's fucking lame. And then Jack pushed me into it. He's like, Hamish, this is Luke. He does the You Don't Know Me thing. And I was like, oh, hey. And then I filmed the You Don't Owe Me with Hamish,
That's
which was
amazing.
like super cool because that was the first time I'd ever met him.
Who do
And I
you
was
like
nerding
more,
out.
Hamish or Andy?
I'm not going to pick Hamish, but no. I don't want to pick, like, comedically, obviously, Hamish is a genius, and I
Yeah.
think Andy wouldn't dispute that. But, I think Andy is, like, the brains behind it all, and they're together, they're amazing.
They're great.
Yeah. They're like my comedy idols, pretty much.
Really,
Yeah, man, I grew up, when I was 10, I used to listen to their podcast,
dude.
and I used to watch their, like, reminiscence specials. I remember, like, begging mum and dad to stay up late to watch Rove and shit, like, just
They
the
were-
segment
yeah,
that they were on. Like, Ghosting was the shit, dude.
Dude, ghosting was hilarious.
Yeah, I love them, and they're really, really good guys as well.
That's
And
great.
that's the whole appeal. They're like
They're
just
the
the
everyday kind of guy.
guys.
I was like that with 360. When I was 15, I went to see 360 play at the Tivoli,
Yeah,
and I remember being in the crowd, and my friends on the train ride home were like saying that he looked at them. They're like, he really looked at us. He saw us. He looked at us.
that's funny when people do that. He looked at me. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, because there's shit. He's got eyes. What do you want him to do?
Yeah.
You want him to fucking sit there and go, oh, it's like Indiana
Literally.
Jones style. Don't open your eyes. Like, what the fuck?
And they were so like freaking
People
out.
forget they're
Human beings. And I was sitting on the train. I was like, man, like, it was a great show.
Yeah,
And I was like, but this is the dude that is from this country.
yeah.
It's not like some
Just a
large.
guy.
It's not like fucking like Dave Chappelle came down or anything.
Yeah.
It's like just a dude from 3 hours away.
Yeah.
And I wrote the first rap I ever wrote on the train back after the 360
Yeah.
show.
Oh, you like that with the hey when you decided you wanted to start writing?
I was like, because I had written music.
Yeah.
I was like, I never tried to rap. I just wrote it down on my Nokia E60, and
That would have taken ages. Like beep 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 beep.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're writing the word S and you got to do it like 4 times. Beep 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 beep.
by the time the line had finished, I'd like forgotten the next line.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And then my first tour was with 360.
Oh, dude, that's cool. That must have been a cool moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember
He seems like a really nice guy.
he's
Because
like
he
lovely.
used to do videos with like Ali Soonsom and stuff, which is how I actually first kind of I knew who he was, but that's when I thought like, oh, this guy seems cool because he's got a good sense of humor and stuff.
Yeah, dude, he's actually a really funny guy.
Yeah.
And the support act when I saw 360 was a guy called Bam Bam, who's now, Rule, that kid singer.
Yeah.
He's Rule's tour photographer.
Oh, cool.
Random, but
I only know Rule because of Lachlan Fairbairn.
Lachlan
Because they
Fairbairn, they
look
look alike.
identical. Did you see the prank they did? That
so
was
funny,
cool.
so funny. But yeah, Joel. I really looked up to Joel's music as who's Bam Bam. I really looked up to his music, and then it was cool to be like the taking Joel's like spot per
Yeah,
se,
right.
because like I love Joel when he opened for 60. Now I was opening for 60.
Yeah, cool.
And I was like 18, and being very silly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Doing a lot of dumb shit on tour,
Yeah,
but it was fun.
that's cool. How many, you would have been a lot of tours, just opening and shit.
Yeah, dude, I've toured with 360, Seth Century, Remy, Tech 9 a bunch of times, Brother Ali, Atmosphere,
Yeah,
All
cool.
Day, TK Miser, fucking...
You've done it all.
Dude, I have
And now you're excited that you're doing like your own thing properly. Like I feel like this is like really like your moment. I
Yeah,
reckon.
dude, it's been so much just like almost like boot camp, like training.
Yeah.
Like I've been like training for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh,
It's
cool,
happening.
it's happening.
It is, and then you go watch any of Lane's film clips. They're like, it's everything you're doing is like, it's almost like you're already huge.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I feel like you give off this. I think like you are getting very popular. Obviously, like you've got like 50,000 plays on each of your songs on Spotify already. It's been a couple of months, and
Yeah,
or
well,
less, only
it's-
month for Sugary Sweet.
not even a month yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you are, I think you're honestly on the path to becoming huge, and not just here, overseas as well.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. Like usually people, even at the start of my career, it's like everything I did was shit because I couldn't afford to do a good podcast. Like I only started doing the video of my podcast a year ago, but it's like because you've done all that shit under a different name
yeah.
now, and you're rebranding as Saint Lane and stuff. I feel like you're just like from the get go. It's like, who is this guy? Everything he's doing is fucking on point. It's
And
like
that's-
branding from a start.
Yeah. And that took making every mistake
Yeah.
for years. Like just fucking up in every possible way
Yeah.
to then like have the notes and then be like, oh, cool. So I just don't do that. And then you finally
It's
like,
the only way to learn.
yeah.
There's
So-
no school for like being a successful like hip hop artist.
yeah, there's literally not.
It's
And-
like day 1, get on drugs. Day 2, say something controversial. Day 3,
That-
star in the Fast and Furious.
and that's the end goal.
Yeah, that's the end goal: is being a bowling alley with Justin Bieber and star in a movie with The Rock and Vin Diesel. And then as soon as you tick off that, man, I'll be like, Lane made it.
I fucking made it.
Yeah.
Have you been given movie offers? I don't know if you've ever seen that. Mitch,
No, I've done
No.
like two auditions for a Channel 10 show.
Yeah.
And I only
Did you
did
get
it
it?
because I thought I'd get a bit out of it.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm terrible at that shit. I can't. I don't know if you know how auditions work, but
No.
they give you the script 18 hours before or 12 hours before. And both times I had radio. So it was on a Monday morning both times. And I had
Yeah.
radio. So they send it to you Sunday afternoon. And you've got until the next morning to learn the script. And I've got to go in, do a shift on radio. There were times where I was on radio where me and Lewis were rehearsing lines of these auditions that I was doing
Yeah.
in between the songs. Like, you get no preparation. I go in there and they're like, and I'm like, all right, you're Brian, you're a 26-year-old eccentric male from fucking Byron Bay. And I'm like, that's not me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, Stacey, where are your wind chimes? And I'm just delivering all these shit lines that are not me. I can only be me.
You can only-
I've got one mode, and it's like Luke mode.
Would you do a movie if they're like you can play Luke Kidgell in the film?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
like Seth
comedic
Rogen
role.
kind
I
of
just
thing.
can't imagine me being like Keanu Reeves. Like I could never be
You'd be John
Neo.
Wick.
Like me just like fucking lighting up because I would just smirk. I'd be like, this is so dope.
Yeah.
And I 100% couldn't take it seriously.
That's so funny.
Yeah, could you?
Yeah, I think so.
You could be in like a full serious drama, I
Yeah,
reckon, and
I
like
reckon.
play it off good.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, "Wow, this guy has so many layers. This is like the Shrek of characters, man. He's like a fucking
Look, he's a
onion. This guy's got range."
Dude, yeah. I would like to do like streaming something like with Netflix?
Oh man, I would obviously like to. Oh, you know what? Acting is. I don't give a shit. I'm not actively going out looking for it, but if something came my way, I would maybe just do it for the experience and whatever. But I'm happy. I love doing podcasts and I love doing stand up. Those are like my two favorite things to do.
Fuck, you know, I got asked to do a movie with Jeffrey Rush when I was 19.
What?
Yeah.
You have the weirdest life. This is why we need to do a part 2.
Yeah, we should. I knew a guy that was like producing this film.
Was it Pirates of the Caribbean? No.
And I knew this dude, and he was like, "There's this movie that needs like a part." And I just thought you would be so good at it. Jeffrey Rush is the lead, and he has a son who's like a struggling musician. and
So he looked at you and went like, "Hey man, you're a piece of shit.
Literally.
You want to be in a movie?"
Yeah. And he was like, "It's gonna be like like an art house."
Do you
film.
know who ended up playing it in
The
the
movie
film?
never fucking got made.
Right.
But like it was in pre-production
Because they didn't find the right person for the job.
I was unavailable.
Yeah.
I said yes, and I was really excited. But you know what happened? I don't know if this happens to you a lot, because I tell my friends.
Getting movie offers? No, it never happened.
I tell my friends shit when I'm getting the information at the same time. So like I'm like to my friends,
I
"Hey,
might be in a movie, but you
would-
should never say that shit.
Yeah, I know.
I'll say it to like my close friends, like if I'm like, oh, it's still on the cards, but this might be happening, and then not to anyone where they're gonna go tell or whatever, like because
Yeah.
you don't want to. Otherwise, you end up looking stupid.
This is the thing. I've looked stupid so many times.
Yeah, you should. That's what I've learned. I used to do it earlier. I'm like, man, like, and even like when we got the radio show, like we knew probably about a month before we started that we had the radio show.
Yeah.
I didn't tell many people because I was like, it could fall through in a month.
Yeah.
Like it's a month away to our first show. Let's just keep it under wraps.
Yeah. I used to do that all the time. So like with that movie, I was like told all my friends.
And it's hard because you want to tell everyone because you're excited about it. And it's like a big opportunity. And
So I told everyone, I was like, bro, I'm doing this fucking movie with Jeffrey Rush. You guys are fucking tradies. Like,
yeah.
I'm fucking killing it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, because everyone else in their regular lives,
They're
just,
like,
shit just happens.
Yeah.
And like, they don't have anything
Yeah,
get cancelled.
if they're like, bro, I'm doing a job down at whatever, I'm
Yeah.
getting paid $800. They go do that job and get
and
paid
it gets
$800.
done. Yeah.
Yeah,
And no one else has to really sign off on it.
yeah, man, it's just
And-
plastering. You know, it's like,
So there was, so I told everyone I was doing this movie. Like everyone.
such an error.
I know. And told every fucking person in the world. I was like, bro.
Had you even auditioned?
Nah. they wrote me into the fucking
Right.
into the script.
That's like
And-
me going like, I'm going to be in the next Harry Potter, and everyone's like, they're making another Harry Potter. You're like, yeah, and I'm playing Harry.
That was
And I
me,
was like,
dude.
no shit,
Told
dude, that's cool.
Like people that, because I was like a year out of high school, so like I would be bump into people from school. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, just doing this movie. Like, it's like
You were the type of guy like you go to Starbucks, like, what name's on under? It's under I'm gonna be in a movie. Sorry, what? Just put under I'm gonna be in a movie with Jeffrey Rush. All right, and then the coffee's ready. I'm gonna be in a movie with Jeffrey Rush, and then everyone in the cafe's like, oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah, that was me.
at that level.
That was
You
me.
might as well have just got a megaphone and screamed it on the
dude,
street.
called people and
Yeah.
told them, and then it doesn't happen. Then everyone's like, whatever happened to that movie with you and
Yeah.
Jeffrey Rush? I'm like, oh, basically with film, and then you have to explain
Yeah.
the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Like, so
You're standing there at Starbucks explaining to some fucking waitress 3
Yeah.
weeks ago why she wrote I'm gonna be in a film with Jeffrey Rush on a coffee cup.
Yeah, and it's so devastating. I'm like in GQ at the moment, and I did this interview with GQ, and
That was a hard flex.
It was actually there was a.
I read it. I read.
Did you read the article?
Yeah.
What do you think?
It was every article is like, this guy's the best. He's so lovable.
Yeah.
It's like your whole personality and everything. Like
Sick.
the last article I was in. Do you want to know the last article I
Please,
was
yeah. Do you Google yourself?
Huh? No, yeah, this was a comedy festival review. The last article I was in was in The Age. And, okay, do you want to get up the last article you're in? Is it on your Instagram or anything?
Yeah. So do you want to read the opening
Yeah, you read your opening
Okay,
paragraph
so-
and I'll read one of mine.
So this is the opening lines of my article in GQ that's
Yep.
out this month. There's something about Saint Lane that's impossible to ignore. The New Zealand-born Gold Coast-based rapper has dropped a total of 3 tracks to date, a discography that might feel too premature to write about if it was any other artist.
That's good.
But like we said, Saint Lane isn't any old artist. His debut track, Compliment My Shirt and Sugary Sweet, pulse with urgency and promise. The storytelling
positive.
and production, they bring together the kind of stuff rap nerds can't possibly listen to without taking mental notes. And honestly, the whole thing is just amazing.
It's pumping up your tires.
Yeah,
like
fuck yeah.
it's really positive.
It's amazing.
So that's you in mainstream media press.
Yeah.
Here's me in The Age. This is a review from my show this year. He repeatedly remarked how stupid he was, which seemed to gain some validity when he slipped in that Thailand was a country in Indonesia. I did say that. and then I was like, oh no wait, Asia, but she didn't put that B in. Anyway, and made cheap jabs at minorities from the disabled to people living with AIDS. But with over 400,000 online fans and a radio show on Fox FM, it's worth checking out to see what all the fuss is about. So that's with her going, fuck, it wasn't for me, but you might like it.
Oh my God.
3 stars.
You got 3 stars?
Yeah, dude. She came like on a... I don't even remember what night. You know what? I think she came on a good night as well.
Fuck, that's...
I remember her now. She's like little orange front fringe in the second row. I remember thinking like, why is this girl here by herself? Like, she doesn't look like my usual
Was
crowd.
she taking notes?
Yeah, dude. And I didn't even think about that.
Should have pointed it out.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not changing the show.
That's so
And if you
fun.
saw my show this year, you know exactly which joke she's referring to.
Dude, I haven't
But
seen...
she failed to bring up... I also make a 9/11 joke in the show, a Princess Diana joke. About
That's a
her
great
being
joke.
dead. It's a banger. I'm going to put it in the trailer of my special. She failed to bring up that.
Yeah, that's...
I like that she drew the line at disabled and living with AIDS, but 9/11's completely okay.
9/11's fine. The... just cut out that bit of the podcast. Me saying 9/11's fine. Dude, I saw your set. It was fucking fantastic. Like, it was
I'm glad. Dude, Canberra was probably the best show of the tour. Just
Really?
because it was the last show.
How's that
Like,
guy brought his whole family?
Dude, I had so much fun. That's the thing. It maybe wasn't the best, like, word for word, because I just kept... It went for an hour and 20 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
I was up there for so long
It was a
in
long
Canberra, and it was just so much fun. I was having more fun than probably anyone. But
Dude,
it
how funny
great.
was it? Every time you took a sip of your water,
Yeah.
everyone just applauded.
That happens in my special. Wait till you watch the special, dude. It's fucking hilarious. I know now it's going to become an in-joke at all my shows where I take a drink and everyone just goes fucking mental.
But the thing was,
So funny.
there was a point of the show, I think you had forgotten people were cheering at that because you started telling a joke.
Yeah.
And you took a sip and everyone was
everyone-
like cheering. You're like, yeah, but there's more to it. Like,
Yeah, I was in, like, yeah.
It was
Whenever
so
my
funny.
mouth hits the tip of the water bottle at my show, people go nuts. And it's not a meme that I started. It's just a meme that
It's
you
naturally-
guys naturally start every
It's
time.
so good.
Because there is always a weird pause when the comedian, like, I'm like, hang on. And there's 150 people staring at you drinking.
Drinking, yeah. Which is, there's no other job where that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, you're never at like your office job and then everyone in the workplace is like, oh, Luke's having a drink.
Yeah. it's the only job in the world where people will pay to
Yeah.
watch you drink some water.
Yeah.
They want you to do other stuff, but like,
Yeah.
like the drinking has come with the price of
I don't
admission.
know, man. People mainly want that from me. I'm
reckon-
a very good drinker.
Would you do like a drinking?
I would
water?
love to do like a Mount Franklin commercial.
Yeah.
And it's just like a whole arena of people going nuts. Like all the commercials is me just going,
One spotlight.
one spotlight on me.
Yeah.
You see my feet, all right, and then it reveals my body, and it's a stadium full of people, and they're all just sitting there waiting, right?
They can't believe it.
Right, and then we'll go out, and then you hear like someone go in the distance,
Yep.
and then it's like, and then I step up, and there's just a spotlight, like a down light, and it's just coming straight from the roof down on me.
Yep.
I step into it. There's a Mount Franklin water bottle, and this is the ad. It's on a stool, and you think like, oh, Luke Kidgell, he's a famous comedian. Well, that's what people will think.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, he's probably going to tell a joke.
No.
But there's no microphone.
Oh.
That's the catch.
Oh.
Then I pick up the water bottle, and then you hear this from the crowd. I bring it up, and then everyone goes, it's like whispering to their friends, like, he's going to do it.
They can't believe it.
He's going to do it. And then just as it touched my lip,
Yeah.
it's like a fucking the 9th time that
Kanye
Kanye
did Paris.
plays Paris. It's just everyone gets up on
Yeah.
their feet. It's a standing ovation.
They can't believe
They're
it.
pumping, and that's should be their new Matt Franklin. If someone send this to them, okay, that's an idea. You can have it for free as long as I'm the person in the ad. That's my deal. I'll do it for free.
You'll do a Matt Franklin
I'll-
ad for free?
Only if it's that exact idea the way I described.
Is there any other companies
I
that
want-
you do free press for?
Maybe Coolridge, other water brands.
The $1 water from IGA? Yeah,
Yeah,
sick.
maybe the Cotton On Thank You water or something like that.
Dude, what do you reckon this because the title's called Memoirs of a White Guy.
Yeah.
What's the best brand of water?
I should start up my own water company now, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Jimmy Jackson did that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was,
The Mana water, was it?
Mana water, yeah. I should start up. I don't know if white guy water would work. It seems a bit...
Semeny?
Yeah, it's a bit... It doesn't seem very inclusive to everyone. Maybe like... I don't know, like... Simply water, because like I'm simple. Like maybe that could be... No one trademark that. I want that. Simply water or something like that. Or like...
I would do some like straight trash regular water out of the tap, but then relabel it. Like instead of it being
Isn't
like...
that what water companies do?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
instead of it being like table water, it'd be like table water.
Tub.
Like table.
What's
Like,
tub?
so like table.
Oh, but lane.
No, but like table water.
Oh, tub. Tub lane.
It just...
Yeah, right.
It just like it's like Tajay.
Yeah. Or like if it is tap water, it's like it's not tap. Is this?
Yeah,
No,
tap water.
No, you don't pronounce the P. It's tar.
Tar water.
Yeah, it's a silent
nice.
P. Tar.
And
And then the ad is like when you give it to someone, they're like tar.
oh, brilliant! It's sold again.
Yeah.
I reckon, but
We should start up a separate podcast called Luke and Lane's Business Ideas, where we just pitch like it's like a Shark Tank, but no one gives a fuck.
yeah, dude, I've got a business idea, and every person I've told this business idea to, they've been like, "Why is it not a thing?"
Yeah.
You ready to have your fucking mind blown?
Yeah.
Drive through sushi.
We're done here.
Dude, why is it not a thing? Why is it not a thing?
You just like that was like you're like the first guy who like was like, hey, we should put like beef in between two pieces of bread.
Yep.
Call it a burger. And they were like,
Literally.
that was what you just did, but for sushi.
Yeah.
You just revolutionized sushi. I'll bet you look it up. It exists for sure.
I've looked for it. Like it would
Drive through. If you Google,
drive through
which
sushi.
we don't do in this podcast, by the way, it's DuckDuckGo. We use.
You don't use Bing?
No. The G word is actually a sin on this podcast.
What?
Same with the B word.
What?
And
the-
the N word is also a sin. 9MSN, we don't say it.
You don't say nothing.
Yeah, we don't never say the N word. 9MSN in Paris is the song we were talking about before.
What's the what's the preferred search engine? Sorry,
DuckDuckGo.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
What's the point?
They don't track you. It's a completely superior search engine. It's called DuckDuckGo.
Do they sponsor the show?
No, but I wish they would. So if Mount Franklin, Coolridge, or DuckDuckGo want to jump on board, or even anyone, that'd be great. I'll literally take anything. I don't know how low. I'd pretty much promote anything. I got hit up. I actually won't though. I got hit up by a gambling company right
Yeah.
the other day on Instagram. It had like 57 followers. They're like, hey man, would you like to be an ambassador for like our thing? Weren't offering money, we're offering us free membership to their gambling website. And then like whatever, and I was like, yeah bro, like I'm gonna just actively promote gambling for no money, like
That- yeah.
but if you pay me money I will.
You promote anything?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, dope.
Oh, I don't gamble myself. Maybe I wouldn't promote gambling. I wouldn't have a problem promoting alcohol because I drink, so I'm
You
like,
don't gamble at all?
like I played blackjack a couple of years ago at the casino on a boat on a cruise because
Yeah.
there's nothing else to do.
That's
I
it.
don't never punt on sports or anything.
Oh, I love punting on
I'm
sports.
too scared I'll lose.
Do you know what I do? Every week I put $5 down that South Sydney are gonna lose.
And you win pretty much.
Well, they're on a cold streak at the moment. They've lost 3 weeks in a row.
Right, so you've won money 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah. But,
Okay.
But the perk is that's the team in rugby league I support. So if they win,
You're happy. that
I'm
they
happy
won.
they've won,
Yeah.
and if they lose, I get.
That's
money.
what I should do. I go for Melbourne, who suck in the AFL, and I should do that.
Who's like the top tier AFL player? Like who's is it that Dusty Martin guy?
I mean, like, what are we talking about? Are we talking
We're
like
talking about
the
fame.
poster boy? Like poster boy kind
yeah.
of thing? Yeah. Dustin Martin is probably... Gary Ablett still, I guess. Maybe he's past his...
I
due
met
date,
Gary Ablett once.
Yeah.
It was at a cafe called Alfred's, and he was in full. What's the Gold Coast team called?
Gold
Suns.
Coast, yeah.
He was in a full Suns kit, like shorts.
He looked like you, but...
Yeah,
Yeah, but he's not doing it like as a statement. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm paid to be here and wearing this.
shorts, polo
Yeah.
hat at Alfred's Cafe. Like, so I walked past him and I knew he was on Powerade bottles. And I was like, hey, Gary Ablett, keep kicking goals. And on my way, good to get my drink. But then when I was waiting for the drink, someone came up and asked him for a photo, and he was really nice, and he took the photo. But then when the person leaves, he's like, fans. But to his friend, but it's like, you're in full kit.
Yeah, but how do you not expect it to be recognized? Like, there is no uniform for what I do, but
He's a bald guy. He can wear anything else, and people will be like,
yeah, that's like the guy who's like the Stig on Top Gear, like wearing the full helmet and white jumpsuit, and then someone getting a photo and be like, "Oh, fucking fans!" It's like, mate, don't dress as the fucking Stig then.
Exactly. He was dressed as Gary Ablett.
Yeah,
just
you're being the guy right now.
Dressed as any, just wear what you. Does he? Do you reckon he wears that like to bed?
That's his PJs. Yeah. Nah, I reckon he sleeps naked.
Yeah.
And which is even creepier because he's bald for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, he's like all nude. Even his head's nude. It's like, you fucking dirty boy, Gary, with all your nudeness. You know, I just realized we never really finished talking about the Pump Up song like 40 minutes ago. So guys, what you need to do is this week we're voting between All I Do Is Win and Stronger by Kanye West. Obviously the YouTube polls are up. You can vote on Instagram and in the Facebook group. Make sure you vote with your gut, vote with your heart, take it seriously. It's the only thing I really care about in life is this competition.
This poll.
Yeah.
Have you got it like it's like a comp where all the pump up songs? Is there a draw I can see?
Yeah, there's a draw. It's already up. If I go on the Memoirs of a White Guy Instagram, there's a few interesting matchups. You might have to do a couple of zoom ins.
All right.
But Sandstorm has lost to Thunderstruck already.
Oh man.
The Pokemon song last week. Oh, I should update you all. Pokemon song lost to Hall of Fame by The Script. Only just.
That's an awful song. There's a few things. Your phone is fucked.
Yeah, my phone's fucked. It's been fucked for 6 months now.
Fix your fucking phone.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. I reckon I'm 2 to 3 months away from being so annoyed that I'll eventually fix it.
You're gonna get epilepsy.
Yes, if you don't know, my phone just flashes all the time.
Flashes.
And it's been like that for 6 months, and I don't care.
So it's either Tiger versus Joke in the Feed. Dude, Joke in the Feed is one of the best songs. Have you met Andrew from Wolfmother?
No, why would I meet that's not a question you can say to someone. Hey, have you met Andrew from Wolfmother? Is that the lead singer or is that the bassist? I don't know.
Oh, Ian's the bassist. Who's a
dude? I don't know their fucking names. Like, even if you were like, oh, have you met like anyone from an Australian band? The only person I know from an Australian band is like Bernard Fanning.
That's still a flex.
I actually saw the guitarist of Powderfinger at the airport recently, and I was so surprised in myself that I looked at the guy and I was like, that's the guitarist of Powderfinger. And I don't know why the fuck I knew that.
That's so impressive.
Yeah, and I was like to my brother, and my brother goes, it is too. Like, yeah.
That's so funny. Man, Wolfmother...
oh, actually, going back to the most favourite person I've ever seen, one time I saw Andrew O'Keefe from Dylan O'Dell at the airport, so that's probably... that beats Rita Ora.
Yo, okay, let me tell you some fucking funny shit.
Why do you have a story about every person I bring up?
Me and Court, her uncle lives in Bondi, and we were walking down to this liquor store in North Bondi, and we see Andrew O'Keefe, and he's like walking.
Yeah, so you shit yourself.
And we're walking the opposite directions.
Yeah. And you said you've never been starstruck. Lied before.
With Andrew O'Keefe, I saw his face, and I was like, fuck, I know that guy.
Were you just like...
But then I was like, do I know him personally? Like, do I...
Oh, that's brutal.
It's like, is this someone that I like is friends with like my mom?
Is this like my uncle's friend?
Yeah.
He does look like every uncle's friend. He
does.
looks like a guy who's at your family thing, but he's not family. You're like, oh, this is Uncle Jeremy's high school friend.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, mate, I'm Andrew O'Keefe. And he's got a briefcase with him, and he's like, hey, can you open it for me? Or whatever he does. I don't know what he does.
So we walk past him. I'm like, hey, dude. And he's like, hey, guys. And then we walk on our ways. Then my girlfriend turns around. Honest to God, she says, no deal. Yells it out at him. She says, no deal to the back of his head.
That's the most disrespectful thing you can actually do to Andrew O'Keefe. It's the only disrespectful thing you can do to Andrew O'Keefe, and she did it.
She could have spat in his face. She could have kicked him in the leg.
Yeah.
Fine.
She could have like squirrel gripped his nutsack and twisted it a little, and he would have been like, that's more respectful than yelling no deal to my head.
I couldn't fucking believe it.
That's ballsy, man. I respect that.
Yeah. Alright, dude. I've never heard Holding Out for a Hero. What is that song?
It's in Shrek 2 where they're going into the castle and Shrek is human Shrek and he's riding donkey is a horse, and
Yeah.
it's like holding up for a hero.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
the fairy godmother version
need a
of the
hero.
song.
Yeah.
We're not using the original. The fairy godmother
Godmother
version,
remix?
it's pumping. Yeah.
Lose Yourself versus the Final Countdown is so unfair because the Final Countdown is infinitely better.
But
than
Lose Yourself will win.
It will win just
It will
because
win
people like
because
Eminem.
of White Boy. This is a lot of white boys
A
listening to
lot
this
of white boys,
podcast.
yeah. Dude. Like,
And I put Fat Bottom Girls up against Rocky because I'm not scared.
you know what? That's
I'm playing with fire. I know I am. I know it's risky, but I'm confident. You got to back yourself. Otherwise, and you know what? And if Fat Bottom Girls loses,
you can rig it into your podcast.
No, I will not. I take this too seriously, but I will admit defeat and say maybe it isn't the ultimate pump up song, but I truly think it will win this competition
Dude,
because it's the ultimate pump up song.
Love Yourself is a more pump up song than Lose Yourself.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Stronger versus All I Do Is Win.
That's this week's.
Yeah. That
Dude, Stronger is a pump up song. Like,
no. Do you know what is a pump up song? The Kanye Coachella version of that song, where
Okay.
he live remixes the Daft Punk original into it.
right.
Fucking sick.
Okay. But I still think Stronger is a bop. Like, that gets me going. You ever listen to like Stronger when you're like doing something, you know, like if I'm ever running and Stronger comes on, I'm like,
Dude, let me show you this message that a Instagram influencer sent me the other day.
Oh, look at it. There's so many name drops. We get
No,
it, dude. We
no,
get
no.
it.
You're gonna fucking love
We
this.
get it.
You're
Everyone's
gonna-
listening to this going, here we go. Lady Lane's at it again. Name dropping.
I'm not gonna name drop him because this guy's.
Do I know them? I bet you I won't know.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know any Instagram.
But read that.
influencers.
Read that
I
message.
don't know who this is. All of it?
Just like
The first one?
yeah.
I be fucking hard to your music about 3 nights ago. 3 nights ago in a hotel, and you just said lit.
And he put like the devil emoji in there.
I wouldn't expect like. Man, maybe, I don't know, I'll hit up Meg, see if she wants to give it a go. No, that's super weird because we know you. You know what I mean? That's weird.
Yeah,
to
it would
me.
be if I didn't know.
Because I'll be thinking about you and I'll be like, and look, maybe that'll make me come too quick. You know what I mean? Like then, that might be a problem.
Can you not read that out loud, but just read that?
What, the bottom part as well?
Read the bottom part. This guy.
What's doing Saturday night? FY, a fly to Sid. I'm throwing a private yacht party for Lil Mosey. Moosey?
Don't know.
You are one wording this, the guy.
I-
Sick
like-
man. You want to come? I'm good, thanks, man. Okay. That was cold.
So cold, dude.
Oh, that was fucking brutal.
Dude.
You want to come? I'm good, thanks. What's worse, saying I'm good, thanks, or no?
Like, I'm good, thanks. Just shut him down. Man, you should see this message a dude sent me the other day. This guy hit me up, asked me. He said, hey, bro, I recently lost my job and I need a job. His proposition was that I paid him to wear a hoodie with my logo on it.
How much a day?
A full-time job. So like
Was he fucking with you?
no, he was dead serious.
So like, I meet so many people. I come across so many people. They'll see my jumper and then listen to your music.
Yeah.
Is that what he thought?
That was, yeah. So he's like, I'm going to wear your jumper.
Or I could put $10 into Facebook ads and reach 4 times the amount of people.
Literally. And it blew my mind that this guy had hit me up wanting...
He was
like,
probably taking the piss.
no, but he wasn't. I'll show you the
You'd
message.
hope so.
I
feel like you get hit up by a lot of fucking strange
Dude,
units.
bizarre people.
This podcast has been going for so long. We need to edit soon. Is there any other things you need to plug?
No. When's this coming out?
Soon this week.
This week?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was gonna say because I've been doing press for the next single.
Yeah.
So usually I go, my new single is out now, but it's not.
So guys, if you want to listen to Lane's new single, too bad, you can't. But if you want to listen to his old singles, definitely do it, and then follow him so you find out about the new
next single. I've got like Sugary Sweet is still new, so
Yeah.
I'm plugging that.
You probably would have heard it on Triple J. Honestly, I've heard it on Triple J.
It's on Triple J all the time.
They spin it. It's on high rotation.
It sure is, and I'm very, very glad.
And it's a very catchy song.
It's I got a tour of Triple J's office recently.
Yeah, was it cool? I've never been to their studios. They're
So
ones in Sydney.
so cool.
Cool.
It's fucking awesome, and they're really nice people there.
Awesome. Well, mate, thank you very much for coming on. We're going to
Thank
have to do it again sometime because there's so many more things I want to talk about.
Yeah,
we should do like ep just about how much we don't give a shit about The Simpsons, though. Like, just to piss people off.
We could watch an episode of The Simpsons and like react to
Review it and be like, who's that? What's this? Hang on, who's he? Why is that funny? It's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would love to do that.
So many people will get mad at that. Let's do it.
Oh, people religiously.
Yeah, and I'll
love
dress
that
like
shit.
Bart next time as well.
Do it.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining me, Lane.
Thank
and
you.
everyone go listen to his songs.
That's right.
That's how we're ending it. That's rad.